咱们录这个《冰与火之歌》英文版这个。Arya did not know who Bloody Members were until a fortnight later, when the queerest company of men she had ever seen arrived at Harrenhal. Beneath the standard of a black goat with bloody horn rode coppermen with bells in their braids. Lancers astride stripped black and white horses, old men with powdered cheeks, squat, hairy men with shaggy shoes, brown, skinny men in feathered clothes, a wispy fool in green and pink motley, swordsmen with fantastic forked beards, dyed green and purple and silver, spearmen with colored scars that covered their cheeks, a slender man in septon's robes, a fatherly one in maester's grey, and the stickly one whose leather cloak was fringed with long blonde hair. At their head was a man stick-thin and very tall, with a drawn, emaciated face made even longer by the ropey black beard that grew from his pointed chin nearly to his waist. The helm that hung from his saddle horn was black steel, fashioned in the shape of a goat's head. About his neck he wore a chain made of linked coins of many different sizes, shapes, and metals, and his horse was one of the strange black and white ones. "You don't want to know that lot, Weasel," Whis said when he saw her looking at a goat-helmed man. Two of his drinking friends were with him, men at arms in service to Lord Lefford. "Who are they?" she asked. One of the soldiers laughed. "The footmen, girl. Toes of the goat. Lord Tywin's bloody members." "Peace for wits. You get her flayed. You can scrub the bloody steps," said Whis. "They are sellswords, Weasel girl. Call themselves the Brave Companions. Don't use them other names where they can hear, or they will hurt you bad. The goat helms is the captain, Lord Wogelholt." "He's no fucking lord," said the second soldier. "I heard Sir Amory say so. He's just some sellsword with a mouthful of slobber and a high opinion of himself." "Aye," said Whis, "but she better call him lord if she wants to keep all her parts." Arya looked at Wogelholt again. "How many monsters does Lord Tywin have?" The Brave Companions were housed in the Widow's Tower, so Arya need not serve them. She was glad of that. On the very night they arrived, fighting broke out between the sellswords and some Lannister men. Sir Harry Swift Squire was stabbed to death, and two of the bloody members were wounded. The next morning, Lord Tywin hanged them both from the gatehouse walls, along with one of Lord Leden's archers. Wheat said the archer had started all the trouble by taunting the sellswords over Beric Dondarrion. After the hanged men had stopped kicking, Wogelholt and Sir Harris embraced and kissed, and swore to love each other always as Lord Tywin looked on. Arya thought it was funny, the way Vogelholt lisped and slobbered, but she knew better than to laugh. The bloody mammoths did not linger long at Harrenhal, but before they rode out again, Arya heard one of them saying how a Northman army and the Roose Bolton had occupied the rubby ford of the Trident. If he crosses, Lord Tywin will smash him again like he did in the Green Fork, a Lannister bowman said. But his fellows jeered him down. Bolton will never cross, not till the young wolf marches from Riverrun with his wild Northmen, and all of them wolves. Arya had not known her brother was so near. Riverrun was much closer than Winterfell, though she was not certain where it lay in relation to Harrenhal. I could find out somehow. I know I could. If only I could get away. When she thought of seeing Rob's face again, Arya had to bite her lip. And I want to see Jon too, and Bran and Rickon, and Mother, even Sansa. I will kiss her and beg her pardons like a proper lady. She will like that. From the courtyard talk, she had learned that the upper chambers of the Tower of Dread housed 3 dozen captives taken during some battle on the Green Fork of the Trident. Most had been given freedom of the castle in return for the pledge not to attempt escape. They vowed not to escape, Arya told herself, but they never swore not to help me escape. The captives ate at their own table in a hall of 100 hearths, and could often be seen about the grounds. 4 brothers took their exercise together every day, fighting with staves and wooden shields in Flowstone Yard. 3 of them were Freys of the Crossing, the 4th their bastard brother. They were only there a short time, though. One morning, 2 other brothers arrived under a peace banner with a chest of gold, and ransomed them from the knights who had captured them. The 6 Freys all left together. No one ransomed the Northman, though. One fat lordling haunted the kitchens, Hardpie told her, always looking for a morsel. His mustache was so bushy that it covered his mouth, and the clasp that held his cloak was a silver and sapphire trident. He belonged to Lord Tywin, but the fierce, bearded young man who liked to walk the battlements alone, in a black cloak patterned with white suns, had been taken by some hedge knight who meant to get rid of him. Sansa would have known who he was, and the fat one too. But Arya had never taken much interest in titles and sigils. Whenever Septa Monden had gone on about the history of this house and that house, he was inclined to drift and dream and wonder when the lesson would be done. She did remember Lord Servin, though. His hands had been close to Winterfell. His lance had had been close to Winterfell, so he and his son Clay had often visited. Yet, as fate would have it, he was the only captive who was never seen. He was abed in a tower cell, recovering from a wound. For days and days Arya tried to work out how she might steal past the door guards to see him. If he knew her, he would be honor-bound to help her. A lord would have gold for certainty. They all did. Perhaps he would pay some of the Lord Tyrant's own sellswords to take her to Riverrun. Father had always said that most sellswords would betray anyone for enough gold. 好，这一节就录到